Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I am back to do another quick reading, and I just want to do a quick read on something. Not sure what, but after hearing about Saturday's events and what's going on Saturday, I saw a video just now of somebody was talking about the future of the Red Hat movement, is what I'll call it, because I don't want to trigger any words or anything like that. So I'll just call it the Red Hat movement. You know what it is. I think it's the right wing extremism in the States. I just call it the Red Hat movement. But anyway, he was talking about this, and I got to thinking that maybe this was what explained that Three of Swords that we saw at the end of the last reading. I have been racking my brain trying to figure out what that all meant with regards to why it is that I pulled that card, why it was the final outcome from the uh, from the pull on the events of Saturday, on the No King's protest. And the funniest thing is that everybody's talking about how great this was. And I've seen the pictures and I saw the videos and stuff, and I thought, well, wish I could have been there at one of these, but I couldn't. But I went to on Saturday evening. I went to the Krista Berg concert with my husband, and I want to show you a picture that I just thought was so amazing. I posted it on my Facebook, but I'm gonna show it to you here. And it was a picture of Krista Berg that I took. I was right up next to the stage because at the end of the concert, he always does like a stage rush where everybody, people can go to the front of the auditorium and they can do they can, dance and sing and, enjoy themselves and just have like a party. And he even actually described it during the concert as a party. But there was two pictures that I posted that I thought was just amazing. And the first one was this one. And I don't know if you can see it, but it is him. He's standing. The piano has a Ukrainian flag. I thought it was like a scarf with like just the colors of the Ukrainian flag, but it was actually the Ukrainian flag, and it was just draped over the piano. And I took this picture, and I wasn't really thinking that much about it because I thought, oh, this is really nice and everything. And I was just really moved by it because I just thought, oh wow, and I was just sitting there and I was standing there, I was thinking, wow, this man who is world famous. I mean, a lot of people know who he is. Most people have heard Lady in Red. Most people know that song. They've heard it. It was in movies and things like that. So Krista Berg was known or is known for that song, that particular song, especially in North America and by North American audiences. Um, when the song came out, I did not like it. I did not like Lady in Red. I just didn't. I don't know why. It grated on my nerves. Maybe they overplayed it on the radio or something, and then just like going, "Oh my God, this again." There's a couple of songs that are like that. They're really good songs. They're good protest songs. They are really, really, really important songs, and they're considered like protest songs. There's one called "Beds Are Burning," and I think it's an Australian group, and they're talking about the Aborigine people in Australia, and that song is about them, or what I heard was that it was about their plight in against the white man in Australia. So this was something that I seriously thought, yeah, this was a song, but they played it so often on the radio, and they play it still today here so often on the radio that every time I hear it, I just turn the radio off because I just cannot hear it another time. And Lady in Red was that sort of song, and it was that thing that just kind of, ugh, yeah, every time I heard it, I just, ugh, didn't like it. And then I heard in 2002, I heard a song by Krista Berg called The Same Sun. And it was watching a figure skating exhibition show on TV. And they said, oh, the song they're dancing to or skating to is called not Lady in Red, The Same Sun by Krista Berg. And I was like, okay. It's like I'd heard Lady in the Red, and I just thought, okay. Uh, they started playing this song, and it just immediately drew me in. It was just like, like that. It was just instantaneous. I was just drawn in, and that was it. I've been a fan of Krista Berg ever since. So this was back 20 something years ago. And this was like about 20 something concerts later. Here I am sitting here doing my own videos and stuff. And so that song, that big image of him standing next to the piano with the Ukrainian flag, right there is just, to me, it's so profound. The other picture that I thought was amazing was this one. At the very end, he's waving to everybody, and he's got that flag draped around his neck, and he's holding it like a lot of people like put their hands on their chest like this, to feel emotion or something. Because for me, it's like that emotional gesture. When you put your hand here, it's like there's that emotional gesture that you're doing, and this is what I saw. And I mean, it was down here by his abdomen where he was holding it, but that heartfelt feeling that he really cares and that he's really connected to everybody who is in Ukraine and everybody who is there. And I just thought, wow, there's the full picture. But I absolutely love the picture. I love the image. That feeling that I get when I look at that image is just amazing. The other thing that happened, and I'm not going to put the sound on this, but I'm going to it's just a video, and you can see all the people, and they're, holding up their phones, and he's singing Legacy. I'm not playing the song because I don't want to get a copyright strike, because this is his song, but he is doing this song, and people are dancing and singing, and they have their mobiles up, and you see the lights, and it's like stars just shining out all over the place, and it's just really, really amazing. And at one point, he mentioned democracy, and I immediately thought of the No Kings protest that was happening that very day. So I'm thinking that Krista Berg probably was fully aware that the No Kings protests were happening that day, and that he made that mention of democracy and how significant that is. So that was what kind of struck me. But it was an amazing concert. We had an absolutely phenomenal evening. Sorry, Abend is evening in German, but we had an amazing evening, and it just went too fast. It was so great. It's like the concert just happened so quickly, and it was like 2 hours later, and we're just dancing at the front of the auditorium and just having the best old time, and it's just amazing. So I had an absolutely phenomenal time. It was just really, really an incredible, incredible concert. And it was just something that I will always remember, because it was just so special. It was so beautiful. But that with the flag, I thought I just wanted to share that because I thought that was really amazing. So anyway, so what I saw just now was a guy was talking about MAGA, or the Red Hat movement, and he said that it is dying. Now, I do not know, because I'm not in the States. I can't say for sure if this movement is coming to an end. But I think everybody says all things must come to an end. I mean, like a wonderful concert coming to an end, an evening of joy and music and happiness came to an end. So yeah, this is the trajectory of things, that this will ultimately come to an end. That this movement, or whatever it is that they describe it as being, is going to ultimately come to an end. So I want to pull some cards on that, and I want to see um, if since when you're pulling cards, you can't really do it with a timely manner, but I want to see if within like the next year, like between now and the midterms, if this is go if this is going to end, if this negative movement of people, if it is going to come to an end. My guide said pull cards. So here we go. So will this come to an end? Let's see, within a year. And the first card out of the from the stack is the Hermit card. This is isolation. This is being alone. And I know that I used this card in a sense that people thought they were alone before the protest happened, and they thought they were alone in all of this. And then they realized that they were just one point of light and that everybody was like a point of light. And I love that I mentioned that, and then I showed that pictures with the cell phones and all the lights and stuff, because that's what this is. We are all just a point of light, and when we come together, we create this huge thing. Well, this group of people, this Red Hat Brigade, if you will, these folks are discovering just the opposite of that. They thought they were so powerful and they thought they were so strong. And now they're just realizing that they're just a singular light, and that that light is dimming, and that they are feeling isolated. And that instead of coming together in a sort of a community type of thing, they are isolated from, because of this ideology. They are isolated, and they're using this as a they're like trying to scream in an empty auditorium. That's the image that I get. I get the image of a guy who walks into an empty room and starts screaming like crazy how much he's angry at the world and what have you, and nobody is there to listen to him. That is what I'm seeing. And it's crossed by the Three of Cups. This is us. This is the people. The people are united. And they are happy, joyful. This is the party. This is like a part. I always thought that this was like the three fairies dancing, but this are people celebrating. They're having fun. They're getting together, and they're coming together in a sort of a unity type of thing. And so they're not isolated. They're recognizing each other, and they're like pointing to each other and saying, "Hey, I know you. I saw you at the last one." Or we're in the same community. We meet at church, or we meet at the grocery store, or we meet out while we're out jogging, or what have you. So this is what the people are doing. They're coming together, and they're recognizing they're unificate. They're united with one another, and that gives them more power, but it also takes away the power from him, from these folks. So yeah, there's that sense that people are coming together. The underarching energy is the star card. This is the beam of light. This is the light of the people coming together to recognize or accept the fact that they are that beacon of light, and they're recognizing what powers they have. And so all of the stuff that's going on, when you have all these people coming together, and they're demonstrating, then they're seeing each other, and they're saying, yeah, we all have this in common. We all have this common enemy. We have all this common feel. And this is what the Red Hat Brigade are most afraid of. They're afraid of seeing. See, they've spent all of their time trying to separate everybody, to divide and conquer is what they call it, and they trying to separate everybody from one another. And then you have these people who are saying, we're coming together, and what we bring together, you can't tear apart. And that is what they're most afraid of, is that the people are going to come together, and they're going to unite together, and they're going to create a force that is more powerful than they are. In the immediate past, you have the Eight of Pentacles. This is, they thought, oh yeah, we have it all, we have it all. We're creating all this stuff. We got this merch. We got all this stuff that's happening and stuff. And we've got all these things, and we're, going to sell our hats. We're going to sell our t-shirts. We're going to sell all this crap, basically. And we're going to, we're going to have more power. One of the things that I noticed, and this is something that I think the people are, and this is something that this person that I watched the report on, and it was a very interesting report. I think it was called I can't remember it. It was just one of the various YouTube channels of just somebody coming on and talking, and doing like kind of what I'm doing right now. Basically, they came on and they said that the only place where the Red Hat Brigade has any sort of power or presence is online in social media forums where you've got logarithms, where you've got all of these people doing all this stuff. And so when you take that away, they're pretty isolated. They're maybe sitting in the basement of their mother's house playing video games or something, but they're isolated. They're separated from the rest of the world where we're creating communities and we're coming together with other people of like-minded or similar political ideologies. These folks are basically just pulling out their hats and saying we've got this and we got that, and they're not really making much of a difference. All they are doing is isolating themselves further. And so I think that's what this is. This is them saying we've got the stuff, we got all this stuff, we got all these talkers, we've got all these people doing podcasts, we've got these in social media and that, and we've got Twitter, we've got this, we've got that, we've got the social whatever thing that they're Trust Social or whatever it is that con man is putting together. But we've got all of this stuff. But really, in essence, how much is it worth? The overarching energy is the Temperance card. This is the peace that passes all of us. This is walking into a protest and saying, "Okay, we're going to dress in a balloon frog costume. We're going to look at this and we're going to try and find some humor in all of the stuff that's going on. We're going to create this community. We're going to do all of these things, but it's going to be without using any sort of force or pressure. It is no bang bangs, no fist in the face or whatever. This is all peaceful. It's all peaceful, and it's sort of methodological too, because it's like we know that these people are triggered. We know that there is this triggered idea, and they're feeling isolated. And the more isolated they feel, the more angry they get. And so we're recognizing this and we're seeing this and we're saying, we're not going to go there. And that's why the protests were so successful over the weekend, is that people were saying, yeah, we're not going to go there. We're not going to get involved in hurting somebody else because they're blindly following someone that is doing no good for them. And so that is what this is basically saying. And basically what I've noticed is that the thing that bullies cannot stand is when people mock them, or they don't they don't become aggressive because of the actions that they take. And that is precisely what happened over the weekend. In the immediate future, we have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, he's still there. He's still there. This harboring, hoarding idiot is still there. But how we're dealing with it is through a more calm, peaceful way. Because this guy's going to come out and he's going to say, oh, we're going to try and do all this and we're going to do all that. And then people aren't going to respond to him in the way that he hopes that they will. He's hoping that they will respond to him in a non-peaceful way. But that's not what happened. That's not what's happening. And this is going to grate on his nerves in the most powerful way possible. And I'm here for it. And I think we're all here for it. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Emotional. The emotional concerns of them is this Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups is about being offered something but not accepting it because you're paying attention to something else. And what is going on with the Red Hat Brigade is that they are basically ignoring what is being offered to them. And what is being offered to them is a peaceful way of coexisting with one another. They're ignoring that. And they're looking for some instant gratification of whatever things that they can get. And the four, I mean, because we have the we have the Four of Pentacles and now the Four of Cups. And this is the energy of four is really, really, it's, I can't really explain it. It's more, it's, to me, it seems more like, um, gorging, just like wanting more and more and more for themselves and not being able to, what is it? They're not able to really recognize the gifts that they have. See, a lot of people they're really in tune with what they have, and they think that, and this is why the ultra wealthy are so miserable because they don't recognize that peace and happiness comes from within. It doesn't come with having like gazillion dollars. It doesn't come with having a bunch of followers on social media. It's not defined by that. It's defined in a different way. And it's defined by a more internal spiritual way. And what they're doing is they're ignoring that internal spiritual way because they've been told for so long that it's only one way, their way, and they can't handle that. So I think that's what this means. It means that people are trying to offer them reconciliation. They're trying to offer them this idea that they can come together and that they could create a unified force, but they do not want it. One of the things that I saw was a man who showed up as an anti-protester at one of the No Kings events, and he was trying to rabble rouse. Basically, he was him and then I don't think one of his buddies, and they were like walking along the street and they started trying to hassle some of the protesters that were there. And one of these rabble rousers ended up tripping. And what I saw of him was he cut his face like right here, and he's walking along and he's got blood just down his face. It looked like he had gotten a gaping wound right here on his temple because he fell. And he fell hard on the ground. And some of the protesters were laughing at him. I mean, it was very humiliating. They were laughing at him. And a couple of guys were like, no, let's not laugh at him. Let's try and help him so that he can like get away from the groups so he doesn't get further humiliated. But what happened is he starts cussing and swearing and he's yelling and screaming at the people who are trying to help him out. He does not understand. This is this. He's being offered a way out. He is being offered a way to get away from the humiliation that he has subjected himself to. But he refuses to take it. And he continues to yell and scream at the protesters. He continues to yell and scream at them. And he's just not doing himself any favors. And that's what this is about. This is about these people who are having to recognize, or they're not having to recognize, but they are being offered something and they're refusing to accept it because they have been brainwashed into believing that all of these things are wrong. They've been told by media, by social media, by the guy in the White House, by everybody that this is how it is. And so that is what is happening. He is being offered a way out and he's not accepting it. What other people see is the Nine of Pentacles. They're not looking at him, or they're not looking at the red hat people. They're looking at what the possibilities could be for a future that is encased in happiness, joy, and all the people having enough. And that's what this card is. The Nine of Pentacles is about having enough. I mean, look at her. She's got the bird and the butterfly. She's wearing a beautiful dress. She's got the pentacles right by her feet. She's got enough. She's got what she needs. She's got what she required. Hopes and dreams. It's the Six of Wands. This is, Libby calls this the false victory card. And I think this is exactly where these folks are at. This is the pompous egomaniac in the White House. And these are the people who are starting to turn away from him. So some of them are actually listening. So it is fracturing. This red hat thing is fracturing. And this card kind of depicts that this whole thing is fracturing, and that what this guy said in his report about it, he said, yeah, he said this is why they're so angry, because it's fracturing and they cannot stop it from doing so. Final outcome is the 6 of Cups. And this is a really profound card. Okay, the first thing that came into my mind, my guides just fed me into my mind this idea. The 6 of Cups is often used as a card of nostalgia, of remember when we were kids, remember when life was much easier than it is now, remember when we had no worries, where we just could do everything that we wanted to do, and that we just felt free. And what the outcome of this is that they're going to be put in that position where they have to recognize how things were before they joined up with this cause. What were these people, what were their lives like before? They had family, they had friends, they had all the things that they needed. And then they started shooting off this rhetoric, and that was it. It was gone. The rhetoric, the hate, the antagonism, the violence, all of those things, these things are their outcome. Their outcome is that these folks believed that they were going back, or they were able to use this ideology to go back to the way things were when life was better for them and harder for everybody else. And now they're looking at it and they're saying, oh my God, if only we could go back in time and we could recapture the things uh, that we had when we were kids. And I think that this is what they're thinking, and this is regret. This is their, I think the outcome of this is going to be the fracturing is going to continue. The fracturing will continue, and they will be regretting that they did not recognize the good things that they had in their lives before all of this stuff happened. So this is where I think is going. This is where I honestly believe where this is going. The movement is dying. The movement is not, it's not going to have that um, it's not going to have the longevity that that it had before. So yeah, let me pull a couple more cards and see. The next card I pulled is Five of Wands. This is a conflict, and this is them responding to this. This is the outcome. No, this is the outcome, and this is their response to that outcome. The response is conflict. They're going to fight against it. There is nothing that these people like less than change. Change is like kryptonite to these people. They do not like it, and they fight it and fight it and fight it because they don't want to see the positive change for all the other people, because they see it as a negative change for them, because we're living in an upside down, topsy-turvy world. But that's what they got. And then I pulled the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is them watching that ship set sail. They can either accept the change that is inevitable, or they can stand on the shoreline and watch that ship fall, as it sails off into the distance. This is not what they want, and this is not what they aspired to have. And now this is what they're getting. And finally, the devil. This is who they followed. This is the energy that they followed. This is what they got behind. This is what they put all of their eggs in the proverbial basket of. This is what they are. This is what the ultimate outcome is for them. They followed this devil, and they now are reaping the consequences from it. And now they are wishing they could go back. But some things cannot. As much as you would like for things to go back, they can't. Queen of Swords. Determination, the ability of the people to forge ahead. The Ace of Swords, the truth. The truth will emerge about not only them, but about what they're doing and what their actions are. And this is going to happen. The truth is ultimately what is going to happen. At the base of the deck, we have the Six of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. And the Seven of Pentacles. That's the harvest. So this is what we are creating. We are creating a world that we want to see. Be the change you want to see in the world. That is the message. That is what the message about the protests were. And the other thing is that the Three of Swords is outcome that I had a couple of days ago with regards to the protest. The Three of Swords was actually, I think what happened was this was actually their response to it. That the Three of Swords was not our response or reaction at the end of the day, but theirs. The red hat people. This is their response. This is the heartbreak, the disappointment, the betrayal. Because everything that they were told turned out to be a lie. Everything. And that's what I got for you today. So that was very, very profound. I didn't know that I was going to get both sides on the thing, as far as everything was concerned. But I think that is, I think that's pretty profound. I think that is what happened. These folks ended up very disappointed, and the people who were protesting ended up proving their point. So when you get that, then I guess the magic is when the magic starts to happen. So anyway, so that's what I got for you today. I need to get going. We're going to go for a walk, and I need to get outside. I haven't been outside yet today. I need to get outside. And at any rate, I hope you enjoyed this little reading and little talk about the concert. Concert was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing. And makes me just want to go to the next one. I always love going to Christopher concerts. They're so good. Anyway, so take care, everyone. Have a great day. I'll try and get to the comments as soon as I can. I just have so much going on right now. Things are really, really busy at the moment. But I am thinking about you, and I hope that you're all well. And thank you for being here. And as always, namaste.